Hey folks, this is Kalani. Patch 10.1 is finally here, giving us access to the brand new zone Zaralek Cavern with new story quests, new races to befriend, and a lot of content to sink our teeth into. But there are some things I would recommend you get done first to streamline your experience, get some very important quests done in the most efficient way possible, grab your first Spark of Shadowflame that lets you upgrade a piece of gear straight to 424, and generally just get ready for the start of Season 2 next week. So let's take a look at what you should do first in patch 10.1 and how you can avoid wasting special currencies like Flightstones, crests, and splintered sparks. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. The first thing you're going to want to do when you log in is start up the story quests. When you first log in, you should get a quest called The Land Beneath. You need to go talk to Abyssian at the Seat of the Aspects to see what's been going on and what the Primalists are up to. If you do not see this quest when you log in and you can't find it or can't pick it up, double check your chapter progress for the current story. If you haven't completed the first chapter, A Crash Divided, on any character, you will actually need to go do that first. That first chapter was introduced with patch 10.0.7 and is required to start patch 10.1 story content, so follow those breadcrumbs to finish up that section first. For any of your alts or future characters, you can skip over the entire 10.0.7 storyline to start right at patch 10.1. Patch 10.1 quests will take you through what we know of the Primalists' plans. We'll track them down to a big old tunnel in the ground, which we obviously are going to explore, and that leads us into the new zone for this patch, Zaralek Cavern. We'll meet some new friends, face off against some old enemies, and the Black Dragonflight leaders continue to squabble amongst themselves. Right now you can work through the first 4 chapters of the story, which unlock different things as you progress, so the main question I know most folks have is, how far do I actually have to go to get to the good stuff? Well, everyone is going to want to progress through the main storyline up until just after being introduced to the city hub of Loam. By completing this first new chapter, which is actually the second chapter of the whole story, called Breaking Ground, you will unlock most of the important stuff in the new zone. This includes world quests, which you will want to unlock if you want to farm reputation with the Niffin, gather more Flightstones, collect some new Niffin specific currencies, or get some decent item level gear. Unlocking the world quests in Zaralek Cavern is actually the last step of that chapter, so as soon as you do that, you know you're good with all this other stuff. You're also going to get a few quests in Loam that introduce you to the new upgrade system, which show you how Flightstones and crests work, how you can use them to upgrade gear, and you also get a bunch of Flightstones and crests for free when completing these quests, so everyone will want to get that done as well, if not for the free stuff, but just to give you an idea of how that system works as well. But perhaps the most important things you will unlock at this point are the weekly quest for the Niffin and the Spark of Shadowflame introduction quest. The weekly quest for the Niffin, a worthy ally, rewards you with a box of goodies that includes gear, reputation, crests, gold, dig maps, and splintered sparks of Shadowflame. So this weekly quest is actually one of the only 2 ways to get these splinters, so if you want to upgrade your profession gear to Season 2 as quickly as possible, you will want to finish this weekly quest every week. So completing the story up until the point where you can actually unlock that weekly quest is also very important. Farming the 1500 rep with the Niffin for the quest can take a while, but it depends on what activities you want to take part in. The Splintered Spark of Shadowflame introduction quest is just as important because it actually gives you a head start with your sparks. Typically you can only get 1 splinter per week, but this intro quest gives you an extra splinter, which will give you 2 splinters total, allowing you to create your very first Spark of Shadowflame more or less immediately. To complete this quest and get your 2 splinters, you need to get 1 splinter, which is a bit weird, but hey, I'll take the free splinter I guess. So you need to complete that weekly Niffin quest to earn reputation, or go up and complete one of the PvP weekly quests to get your splinter, hand this in and get your first spark. I'll be honest with you, the easiest way to do this is to just keep going through the story quests. The end of the next chapter gives you a big rep token that instantly completes that weekly quest, which gives you your first splinter, which lets you turn in the splinter quest as well, so you can run around doing world quests or whatever for small rep gains, or just keep going through the story and knock it all out at once. The choice is yours. What I will say here though is that you should absolutely pick up your weekly quest and your splinter quest before you continue with the story or use any reputation tokens for the Niffen at all. If you use all of the rep tokens and then pick up the quests after, your rep gains will not count, so you'll be stuck at 0 of 1500 rep required with no quick ways to skip over it. So pick up all of the quests as soon as they become available to you so you don't miss out on the efficient completion methods. You can then take this first spark and get a piece of gear crafted, or recraft something from Season 1 to get a big upgrade. Season 2 crafted gear starts at item level 411 and goes all the way up to 424 if you get it at rank 5, so that is going to be a huge upgrade for everyone, and you can upgrade it even further using enchanted crests. All the way up to item level 447, that's where it caps out. We won't be able to do that until next week though, so getting your sparks of Shadowflame is going to be super important if you want to gear up quickly and efficiently, so be sure you get these quests done. From here, it's kind of your choice with what to do. If you want to continue the story content, you can complete up to the 4th chapter in the new story, The Ancient Bargain, but you don't really unlock anything super new or exciting right now. You do get a bit more Niffen reputation though, so if you want renown rewards, it's definitely worth it. I would still recommend doing all of the stories so far though, so you're ready to pick it up when new quests become available, which do unlock new things like the new dragon riding mount. You can also start doing the side quests in Zaralek Cavern to learn more about the Niffen, earn more reputation and renown with them, or start working on other activities like snail racing or bartering. There are actually some really fun side activities in this patch, so if you aren't on the go roller coaster to min-max your gearing options, that could be a fun distraction. You can also start collecting Flightstones and crests to work on upgrading your gear. Flightstones come from pretty much any activity, including the story quests. I haven't really gone out of my way to do anything besides quests so far in patch 10.1, and I already have over 1000 Flightstones. You can only hold 2000 total, so if you're holding on to Flightstones to start upgrading your gear next week, going into next week with that 2k cap already earned would be a good idea. But honestly, getting there doesn't seem like it would take much effort right now either, so just do whatever you want and your Flightstones will accumulate. If you don't plan on raiding or running high-end Mythic Plus next week, you can start working on some gear upgrades right now too. World quests drop various levels of Explorer gear, which can be upgraded up to 398 using just Flightstones, so that is a great option for lower tiers of gearing up if you aren't above item level 400 just yet. Even better than that though are the rare monsters. They're going to drop Flightstones and fragments for Drake crests, which can be used to upgrade gear even higher, and they can also drop gear on the Adventurer track. This gear can be upgraded up to item level 411, so that's quite a bit higher than what you can get just from the Explorer track. You will start needing crests to upgrade your gear as you get into the higher tiers of Adventurer though, so keep that in mind. If you are planning on doing dungeons or the raid next week, I would probably just save up your Flightstones and crests until then. There are so many different gear tracks that you can work through, but ultimately you will always want to get the highest gear possible before spending your crests or Flightstones to upgrade them, as that will save you the most currency in the long run. Dungeons and the raid will offer much higher item level gear baseline, which can be upgraded further than the world quest or rare gear rewards. It is also worth noting that even if you don't do normal or heroic raiding, LFR will launch with every other difficulty this time, so the first wing of LFR goes live next week along with everything else, and that's going to drop veteran gear, which can start at item level 402 and be upgraded much further, so it might be worth keeping your crests and currencies for that even if you don't plan on doing any other group content. I do think it would still be a great idea to get those 2000 Flightstones saved up for next week though if you do plan on doing Mythic Plus or any of the raid. Now, something else you might want to get done is pick up all of the new dragon glyphs in the new zone. There are 8 new glyphs to collect throughout Zaralek Cavern, and by collecting them you can unlock 2 new talents, Ground Skimming and Land's Blessing. The idea of these talents is to let you regen vigor while flying low to the ground, giving you even more options to dragon ride for longer. You can seek the glyphs out yourself, or I'm sure the Handy Notes add-on has been updated by now if you just want to see the locations on your world map and collect them all within 30 minutes. And then if you can't find anything else you want to do right now, now is also the perfect time to tinker around with your characters and alts. All of the 10.1 changes are in, so if you don't like how your class plays right now, this week is the best time to get another class ready to play. There are so many gearing options to get caught up, and the real Season 2 adventures start next week. So if you absolutely hate your character with whatever changes came through in the patch, there's no better time to re-roll and get ready for Season 2. But that's some of the options you have for patch 10.1 content right now, and what I would recommend you do first. What are you going to craft with your first Shadowflame Spark, and what are you most looking forward to next week with the start of Season 2? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all our members here on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you'd like to add your name to the end of every video with a special shout out at the start of the next video, you can find links in the description over to Patreon, or click the join button just below this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.